Hey there guys and gals, just a quick one before we begin. Thank you so much for watching this guide. If it helps or if you enjoy it, please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe and share with a friend as well. Huge shout out as well to all my Patreon supporters and YouTube members, so thank you so much. Also, if you enjoy the dark side of gaming, which involves controversies with streamers and studios, murder and more, check out my podcast called Gaming's Darker Side. You can find it on Spotify, Apple Music, or wherever you get your podcasts. So thank you so much, and now, on with the good stuff. And welcome to the good stuff then, guys and gals. This is Firework, a game developed by Shiying Studio, published by Gamera Games, and is usually available for £7.19/$9.99. But for now, until the end of May 2025, it is on Game Pass for Windows PC only. Until it leaves Game Pass, then it'll be no longer available on Game Pass. So this is an insanely fantastic story with Chinese puzzle horror elements to it. So we, as a rookie policeman, basically open up a cold case investigation by chance, and it turns into something extremely more horrifying. And as for achievements, well, it's literally for completing the game. Each chapter gives you 100 Gs each, but at the very end, credits, you need to listen to the whole song, but I'll remind you when we get there. If you're blasting through the dialogue, it'll take less than 2 hours. If you are looking at the dialogue, which I highly recommend, and you find yourself invested in the story, it'll take about 3 to 4 hours. So, let's do it! Now, there are 2 ways. If you are wanting to just smash through the dialogue, there are 2 ways to do it. Again, obviously, if you've got the controller, which I personally used, because I stink at keyboard stuffs, I was just smashing the A button. But, if you press the right bumper button, then it skips the whole, it basically skips it. So instead of using up your thumb muscle and it going quite slowly, just hold the right bumper and it'll go through the dialogue even quicklier. Quicklier is a word. No? So anyway, whichever way you're doing it, speak to your captain and then head off to the right. Again, this is a dialogue heavy game, so yeah. Woo! We can move! We are movables! So, let's move on over to the right then. So the puzzles in this game are generally, they're not too difficult, they're not too bad, but some can be slightly confusing as to where to go. So we're going to have a look at this bowl. Again, you don't need me to tell you to smash through the dialogue. You're a grown person, you could do what the heck you want. But we do find a battery, which comes in handy, apparently. So head back to the left, give it to your guard, Captain Kellogg's. And continue then to mosey it on over to the right. So we just need to continue basically heading to the right, but what we're going to do is every time we walk past this wall here, we just need to interact with it each time. So we're going to be doing this a few times. You're going to see some blood, some wood, and, you know, your whole sanity depleting right in front of your very eyes, which probably happens to us on a daily basis anyway. Ah, we finally made it. Who the hell made these streets, man? So inside we go. And over to the right, of course, I'll be saying that a lot through the game, we're going to find a candle. We need to pay some debt. So apparently the dead people in this game just want their candles back. They don't need money, they don't need love. They just want their candles back. Fine. Right, have a look in the middle, interact with the middle, and then there's a piece of paper there. And then after that, slightly to the left, we are going to light the candle. Now, choose yes for yes or no for no. So we're going to choose yes for yes, of course. And then slightly over to the right, we're going to find another piece of paper here. This is basically what the game is then. In each room, we're basically going to pick up a few things, look at some clues, things are going to happen, we're going to crap our pants, like so. I mean, we would if we were the rookie policeman himself. And yeah, just head on to the left, little donkey, and then get out of here. So go to the right slightly until we find the chair we can interact with for another piece of pooper. And then from here then, we can just simply head left, interact with the brick wall once again. And then continue on your merry left. And before leaving, make sure to interact with the old chili bowl right now. Oof. Not the old Texas chili bowl. Press yes for yes. So once we are here in the funeral home, then we're going to interact with the funeral lid, and then basically we're just going to go through all of the dialogue options. So there'll be 3 that we want to investigate: the coffin lid, inside the coffin, and around the coffin. We're going to do all 3. Now, another thing I should say is, while the game does autosave a lot, it is very handy to make a manual save. So if you press the Y button on your Xbox controller as we continue heading left, at the beginning of each chapter, I do highly recommend making a manual save, only because sometimes some of the achievements don't unlock straight away. And if that happens, you can just press the Windows key on your keyboard. That will normally unlock it. As we try head to the left, which we can't, so we're going to interact with the Texas chili bowl again. In fact, this scene just sort of, yeah. So now we interact with the Texas chili bowl. There it is. So yeah, if the achievement for whatever reason doesn't unlock, hit the Windows key on your keyboard, and that should get it popping. But again, I highly recommend, just in case it doesn't, at the beginning of each chapter, press Y to make a manual save. And yeah, because I got messed up and had to play through the entire game again until I got to chapter 4, because chapter 4 didn't unlock for me. So that's nice. We always like it when that happens. So head off to the left now once you've gotten through all this scenery bits to find that it is a funeral car. My God left me here on his own. God damn it. Anyway, that's it then. 10 mins in. Let's do this for Rizzle. So head over to the right to interact with the next item. Then left slightly, interact with the old bagnesses of lives. The IV bags, IV drippy drews. The thing that keeps people alive. And then nextly, interact with the TV once it pops on. That'll give us a key, and then we can head out through the left to the door. Chapter 1, The Telephone. Isn't that a Lady Gaga song? Or something. Lady Gaga, Beyonce? Fine, ladies, fine. So here we are then through the left-hand side door. We're going to interact with the black van, where we're going to get a candle and a lighter. Which, of course, we are going to want to light up. So there we go. Because, you know, it's dark and stuff. It just makes all the sense in the world. So head all the way to the right when we get into our starting room. And obviously what we're going to do is choose the middle option, where we going to burn it with the candle. Just makes life a lot easier than using your hand, and then it gets all stuck in your hand, and ugh, you know that eerie feeling of spider webs all over you? There. Anyway, head over to the left now, where we go through the left-hand side door. And over to the left, where we're going to be introduced to our first puzzle. And it is an easy one. We've just got to swap these sort of pictures around, turn them around until they get to, yeah, so just follow along. Just follow along. Right, once we've done that, power's restored. Let's head out to the right-hand side door. And now we can go back through the middle door. I say the middle door, it's the only other door that we can go through. Back basically to our starting room, where we can interact with the TV again. And then we can head out to the left, And then right in the middle on the table is another item for us to interact with. So, once this is done and we can regain control of Jin? Oh, I forgot his name, sorry. Head to the left. Then we just need to head all the way to the right until we can't, and then head to the left to get ourselves going. Obviously, we want to entree. We got some achievements to grab, man. Plus, you know, trying to solve a couple of years long murder and, you know, whatever. But yeah, it's mainly for the achievements. So, let us begin. Head through to the doors slightly on our left. First of all, in order to get in here and then interact with the telephone there on the booth. And make sure to punch in the numbers 2357. So that's 2357. So, what we need to do then is head out to the right. We can't actually go out the left-hand side yet. The door is locked. Now, sometimes you actually have to interact with some locked doors and some locked things in order to progress the story. It may look real stupid and pointless, but a lot of that happens in the game. You actually have to interact with stuff first. Head up the steps. You actually, again, have to interact with the steps icon. And then interact with the very right-hand side. Not the door, but to the note to the right of it. And again, since the door's locked, we'll head down and go through the other door, the one with the telephones. Ring my telephone, please. Oh yeah, please. Now we can head through the door on the left, since it has opened, which is, of course, not spooky at all. Right, interact with the middle dryer. And again, this is one where I could tell you what to do and how to do the puzzle. But again, we actually have to look for the clues first. So the first clue was right in front of us there on the dryer. The next one is going to be, you need to go right or left, again, it really doesn't matter. So we're going to just go to the left, up on the sink. And then over to the right, just past the dryer, we're on the toilet where we'll find the next fragmented piece. And for the next one, if we head over to the right on the bath, you will see that we've got a symbol, but we actually need to go slightly left to turn the tap on, or the faucet, or whatever you want to call it. It's the tap, okay? It's just the normal tap. So turn it on, press yes to turn it on, and then interact with the bath again in order to get the full code. Now we can finally interact with the dryer. So now we can finally do this puzzle. So from left to right then, turn the first one on the left twice. The middle one, we're going to turn that once. And then the right one, we're going to turn that 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then that is how we do the puzzle. The most difficult puzzle of your entire lives. Man, I love it when an investigation comes together. So, we got what we need. Head out to the left now. Oh, but wait, we can't. The door's locked and spooky stuff goes on. So just grab the autopsy report then from the autopsy from the corpsopsy. Interact with the hair, and then what we need to do now is head over to the left ever so slightly. We got a pair of scissors that we can grab, and then we're going to we're going to get our hairdressing. Finally, all those years have not been wasted. Of hairdressing college, I mean. Anyway, use them. My assumption is we didn't need to use the scissors there to move the hair to find the key, but we got it. Now we will interact with the left-hand side fuse box looking box, use the key, and yeah, as it turns out, it's a fuse box. So we're going to turn the red one on first, and then head over to the right. Oh, little piggy snout. Pig snout was hiding. Yeah. Alright, so once we got rid of piggy snout and we've got what we want, head back over to the fuse box. This time we're going to turn the blue switch on. And lucky for us, it all worked out. We've got what we need, so we can get out of here from Pigland. Peppa Pig. And then we're going to just have a long conversation here with Lin Chen. And I realised I just called her Lin Chen, and that is completely not her name. It was nowhere near to being her name, so never mind. My bad, I apologise. So interact with the phone again. At this time, we're going to type in the numbers 1, 4, 8, and 1. 1, 4, 8, 1. Okay, so head out once again then to the right. And somehow somebody's leaving some birthday cakes around, which is always good for us, sort of. So interact with the birthday cakes here, and then make sure to interact with the third birthday cake to get the key. I noticed he didn't put the cake back down. We know where that went. Because if somebody's leaving free birthday cake, especially from a stranger, you always take it. No, wait. No, that's wrong. Don't take things from a stranger. Oh, sorry. I almost gave you some bad advice right there. Yeah, so if you see a stranger offering you stuff, you kick him in the nuts and run. Okay? There we go. That's my good advice for the day. So we head back up the steps. And then back down the stairs we go. And obviously I just realised that, of course, women can also be strangers who offer you things. So if a woman stranger offers you something, you kick her in the girl nuts too. And run away. Either way, do some kicking and running. Alright, so head back out to the right-hand side door after you've done this combo. Ah, did you think that we almost died? No, of course, because we've still got another hour and a bit left. So of course you know that we didn't die. Right, so what we have to do now, after we've interacted with the mirror, go to the right-hand side. We basically have to find a couple of mirror fragments in here now. So yeah, it's basically, I think it's one here, one on the right, one on the left. But yeah, that's all we're doing is finding 3 mirror fragments, or 2. Now again, like I said, because it is a new chapter, I highly recommend making a manual save here. So again, press the Y button on your controller if you are playing on controller, and whatever it is on PC, I'm not sure on the keyboard, sorry. But make sure to make a manual save just in case the achievement doesn't unlock. Or what you can do is make sort of sporadic saves, so save the game as you go. And then, of course, if it doesn't unlock, you can obviously just replay the last little bit. So completely up to you how you do it, but I would highly recommend making manual saves as you go, just in case the achievement doesn't unlock. So once you picked up the note there from the middle of the phone booth, we head out to the right-hand side door. And now we can go up the steps, and finally, mate, finally, the door will open for us. But it's too scary. Nah, it's actually not bad. We're grown-ups. We could deal with some horror and death. But as we go through the left-hand side, we're going to interact with the 3 creepy, not-looking-at-all dolls, where there was a phone right there. So slightly over to the left, we are going to light up the candle as well, so make sure to choose yes, of course. And then just to the right of the dolls, there's another candle that we are going to light up. And then just literally slightly to the right of where we are is going to be another candle for us to light up. And there's a bit of a radio puzzle that we've got to do as well. So just to the right of the TV, with the TV kind of look like a jam jar or something. So we just got to put these in the correct position. Should be the correct positions every time. So from left to right, 1 to 5. Put the first one all the way to the bottom. The second one, we're going to put that down once. The third one, we're going to put that down once. The fourth one, we're going to put that down twice. And that is it. The fifth one we can leave alone. So all the way down. Yeah, so that's what it should look like. So 1 all the way down, 2 and 3 once, 4 twice. Job done. So head over to the left-hand side through the door. So first things first then, on the left-hand side on the table is going to be a note we can grab. Then if we go to the left-hand side again, you can see a jar with a family photo in it. Now we have to interact with this family jar on the left first, before we head to the right and pick up some chopsticks. Otherwise, as you can see, it didn't work. So head to the left. So we go, oh, there's a family portrait in a jar. How do we get that out? Could just use my hands, but of course it gets wet and stuff, you know. We don't want to get wet. I don't want to get my police uniform all wet and dirty. So grab the chopsticks from the right, then to the left to pick up the family photograph. And then just hightail it out of here to the left. Then we will head to the right, but not all the way through to the next door. Just past the TV, hanging on the wall, you can see a family or a portrait. We're going to put the family portrait in and then press the A button to straighten it out. Nextly, interact with the TV and turn the channel to 21. So 2 and a 1. 21! Bingo! So now we can head to the right. Let's do some more investigating. If you're wondering why there's no sound, for some reason, throughout my recording, it didn't just, I just didn't pick up on the sound for whatever reason. Not that there's a lot of sound going on anyway through the game. So back into the main section of the area, through the door again, and we are heading into what looks like a bedroom or something. We interact with the table, or the little desk or whatever, pick up the calendar or the date, and then slightly over to the right, we can grab something else as well, another note. And then more over to the right, just past the bed, there is another item that we can pick up too. Or, well, it's not an item, it's a clock, but we're going to put it to 24 or 12 o'clock. Basically, it says 24 on there, so just do 24. And it's basically midnight, midday, whatever you want to call it. But this is what will actually get us the next thing. So now as this little silhouette, we're just going to head all the way over to the right. It's a scratch and sniff. Now, if you don't have a shower for a few days, I wouldn't recommend scratching and sniffing yourself. Just get in the shower. Go on, have a bath. Go on. Relax. Enjoy yourself after you've watched this guide. Right, so as we head through to basically, again, the left, basically just keep going left-hand side now, where we are back in the crime scene room. Now, for the first time, we're going to head all the way over to the left, past that door, and through the very left-hand side door. We're outside on the balcony now. So we go to the left. We're going to interact with the trees here. And after the dialogue, we can just head back into the house. And just interact with the dolls here in order to answer the telephone. Right, so what we are going to do now, we will have to come back and interact with this picture in just a moment. So we're going to head outside to the right door, have a bit of conversation, and then come back in this room to interact with that painting, with the musical notes. So head back out to the right to interact with the stairway, and the code is 5358. Incredible! So yes, 5358. Right, first things first, have a look at the right-hand side in this area where we're going to get another new page and some more dialogues. So after this then, the next sort of puzzle, if we go to the left by the door, we can find a camera hanging up. We're going to basically invert the world, as it were. And again, this is another reminder, just to make a manual save. If the achievement for the last chapter hasn't unlocked yet, again, either press the Windows key, or you can press Alt and F4, which will basically force the game to close. And then once you reopen it, the game should the game should lift off where you last left your autosave, but it should give you the achievement as well. So head through the door on the left, head to the left where we can interact with the dolls' heads, or just the random dolls, and then go to the right, interact with the camera again to uninvert it, which should be exvert it, I suppose. Then we can head back to the left, and we're going to choose the middle option to move the deity statue. Ooh, it's spooky! Now, I didn't know if I had to keep pressing the A button here, or if I had to keep pressing the directional D-pad and stuff like that. But either way, just keep pressing a whole bunch of random buttons and then it'll eventually go. Now, for children who haven't learned science yet, this is what we all look like. So we're going to need to press the A button a couple of times. But this is what we were like shooting out of our, well, everyone's first ever home. This is what we look like. We look like little tadpoles. And every single one of us used to live in a dome-shaped ball area, if you will. So yeah, this is what we look like. And so, yeah. Science be praised. So we're going to head down. We basically just have to look for the red dots. This was us looking for our mother's eggs. Normally there's another about 1 million trying to get in there, but we got there first. Well done, everyone. Interact with the next red circle there by the frog. So if you think about it then, so anyone who ever thinks they're a loser, hey, just think, we were the first ever winners. We got our mother pregnant. No, wait. No, that's wrong. Anyway, just ignore that. Head down and interact with the next red circle by the mermaid. Please disregard that last bit. We're not in Alabama, are we? Getting your own mother pregnant and stuff. Anyway, shut up. Continue on. So from here then, we are going to head to the right. And it'll be the last bit of the tadpole game that we're going to play. So another little puzzle coming up. Now, it's one of those where you've got to move the blocks in order to make these shapes. It's generally easy enough, but if you follow along closely, you should be fine. And that will get us a key. Now, I know some games make that particular puzzle extremely over-the-top, annoyingly difficult, but luckily not this time. So head to the left and invert your camera stuff as well. It's all creepy stuff. So go over to the right where you can see the little pattern here on the draw. Again, you have to do this before. You can't just go straight to the draw. You have to look for the clues, which is what we're doing. And then uninvert yourself. Head back to the draw and then interact with the middle draw. The dialogue option would be a middle draw. Next to Uplia. Yes, I'm English. Very good. Yeah. Head over here to the middle and interact with we're going to choose the top option, use the pencil sharpener to get some red dust going. And then head back over to the left where we can invert the camera once again. So invert the picture. And then head into the middle, interact with the 3 chalky heads. And then choose yes. And then once this is done, uninvert the world by interacting with the camera again. And then spooky stuff will happen again. So, another tiny little puzzle. We're going to choose I have. And then what we're going to do, I don't know if it makes a difference. I think it does make a difference, the specific ones you choose, in order to progress the story. So we'll choose East first. Never eat shredded wheat. That's how I always used to look at it. Then it's 1. So 1. So it's East first, and then 1 for the number. And then it's all smiley faces. Or I suppose another way to look at northeast, south, and west is never ever sucked wiener. That's also a pretty good one. I don't know, I'm just making stuff up now. It's whatever way, the easiest way to remember it. So these next couple of puzzles are very easy. You just got to follow the little tadpoley bags along the stars to make some stars. Follow along the notes to make the stars. That's what I'm trying to say. Well, the last puzzle was a bit of a delight, considering what we've been used to, the dark atmosphere so far. That was a bit of a lighter element of puzzleness, wasn't it? Anyway, to the left, interact with the table. Ah, spooky things. Who ate the head of this thing? You're supposed to eat the rest of the body too. Well, I'll eat it. Protein is protein after all, no matter how disgusting it is. So, through to the left door, and then through to the right, or go to the right as it were. And just before we get to the door, we can invert the image once again, and then we can head through to the right-hand side door. Now, this actually is necessary. It may look pointless, but it's not. We just need to get through to the next right-hand side door, and then we can uninvert the image on the next camera. So once we've done that, we can head through to the only door that we can go through. And in this room, if we go and interact with the what looks like a light switch, it's a page of a diary, and we can get the Vase Girl. Vase Girl? Vase. Wow. Wow. What's there? It's, Oh, right. It's just a vase, which makes sense now. Right, there we go. Now, what we need to do, we need to find two items. So we're going to we're going to invert the image. Again, we basically need to find a marble and a feather. So you just have to put the camera in a specific way. So it's basically at the bottom right-hand side of the marble. And then if we go to the right-hand side, where we'll find another one of the bedposts, you have to do it with what looks like a cage. There we go. So easy enough. Easy enough, big stuff. And then what we'll do is head over to the right, where we can find a bloodied window with a feather attached to it. So, fantastic. It's what we need. And then after that, we can go and interact with the vase, or the vase, or the vase in the middle of the bed. Give it the marble and the feather. Now, what you need to do is just be a little bit careful here, because I kept pressing the A button and it kept spamming the same dialogue for about 2 minutes. Before I realised, you need to just be careful. So he's going to give us two dialogue options. So instead of spamming the A button, press the A button a couple of times, and then you'll need to carefully just go down so you can ask the two dialogue questions. So if you keep spamming A, you'll keep asking the same question forever. So, once the conversation is finished, whatever way you do it, if we go just to the right of the bed, you can see a frame hanging up, and we need to rip it apart. So head out to the right, and then to the left, we're going to invert ourselves with the camera once again. Chlip, chlop. To the left door then. Eventually. Yeah, there we go. And we're going to invert the camera again. So again, while we're in this room, and then we can interact with the middle door this time and go through to the basement. First things first, go to slightly left, interact with the bloodied, smashy blah blah. Take the key. The cabinet is what I was going to say, not the blah blah. And then, of course, once we've got this, we can head to the right and open up the door we just seen creepy old doctor go through. Right, so next up then, go through to the right-hand side door where we just seen the receptionist lady, and we're going to go all the way to the left-hand side door 01, and then we're going to speak to El Paciento. Right, so from here, head slightly over to the right-hand side. You're going to see something on a wall. It's going to be a little piece of paper or a little doodle. Then we're going to head back to the left. So go all the way left, and we're going to interact with the ripped portrait on the wall. So we're going to pick that one up as well. And we are going to put it together, but not just yet. So we can't go left. So we're going to go to the right. And this should happen. If you do go too far to the right, then go back to the left and back to the right. Either way, now we can put all of it together. Again, it's new chapter time. So again, make a manual save if you wish. Or obviously do the whole Windows key Alt F4 thing if the last achievement hasn't unlocked for you just yet. So this next part is easy. Once we smash through all the dialogue here, all we've got to do is there are 4 little flower pictures in this room that we are going to pick up. And then we're going to pick up the other 2 little toys and put them in a photo frame in the middle. Very easy. So with that one done, we're going to head left now that we have done this. And we can interact with the dolls right in the middle again for another bit of phone calls. So now we just need to go right for a couple of doors. So right and then continue all the way right. Once we have interacted with El Mirador, now we can go through to the door on the right. I mean, Ghost, couldn't you just open the door for me anyway? But it's a point. Anyway, now we're into the bedroom. Interact with the wall. We're obviously going to choose yes to tear open the crack. And there's also going to be another crack over on the left-hand side of the room. So do the same thing again. And now we can interact with the desk in the middle, and the code is 922. So from left to right, 922. Who is creepy Spudman following us? Remember my advice from earlier? If there's a stranger following you and he looks weird, kick him or her in the nuts/girl nuts and run. So now we can go through the door, which we can't go through the door just yet. But now we can while we press yes. Hooray! Now we're back into the kitcheny area, so interact with the table again. You can see a locked diary, which we are going to need to open because, investigative techniques are needed. So head over to the right-hand side where we find ourselves in a graveyard. Because, of course, it can't be a graveyard, it can't be a horror game or horror-inspired game without going to some kind of graveyard. Okay, so first up then, we are going to go... So you can see there's like 3 graves. We're going to go into the second one, which is basically the middle one right here with mounds, big dirt mounds. Either side of it, that was the one. And then for the next one, we're going to go to the third one. So all the way to the right-hand side. The little graves popping up. And this should actually be it. So if we just head over to the right, you can see a note on the tree. And that is job done-y. Now we are going to go through the middle again. So right here in the middle of the 3 lanterns. If you have a look at the lanterns at the top, the middle lantern, and then interact with the big dirt mound in front of us to find another fish with its head cut off. I say go away, stupid Spud man. Unless it's the Spud guy, the Jacket Potato man, who's all over TikTok and Facebook and stuff. There's some damn looking fine jacket potatoes, bruh. Of course, anyone who is not British, as we try and head to the left, the cutscene is happening. If you're not British and you're going, you're putting baked beans on jacket potato, tuna and beans on potato, tuna sweet corn, mayo, just trust me, okay? But I've seen the way some Americans try to make British food, and it doesn't always... You need to come to Britain and try it, because in all fairness, no matter how whacked out and crappy this country is, we do make some good food. Of course, you can agree or disagree on all that. Have a little fight in the comments if you want. But again, I tried biscuits and gravy the other day. Bisto gravy on digestive biscuits. Wasn't as nice as the Americans made out to be. I must have done something wrong. So once that scene is done anyway, head over to the right to get out of here. We're starting to get a bit of a clue and a bit of a picture as to what happened now. So you need to interact with both of the dialogue options. Somebody is coming in. And then basically, as soon as we interact with the last one, we need to hightail it. You've got 3 seconds, so we need to hightail it over all the way to the left-hand side. So as soon as you can move your character again, just go all the way to the left until we get into the closet. As you can see, you got 3 seconds. So, yeah. Well, damn, that was close. Right, so from here then, we are going to... He's left a candle right there. So what we're going to do, we're going to interact with the candle. We're going to then choose the middle option. Oh, sorry, the only top option. To leap over the candle. I thought there was a couple more options then. That's my bad, my bad. So there's a bridge we need to get over, and we can easily do that by going close to the bridge and interacting with it. So another little puzzle for us to do right here. So we're going to go all the way to the right-hand side first, where we get a bit bumped, and then we're going to go all the way to the left, where we find a little bridge. So once we are on said little bridge, nice little rice bridge for us right here. I could do some chicken and rice actually now. I'm pretty hungry. So we're going to go all the way to the left, hit this flag, then go all the way to the right, where we're going to hit the next flag, but the wind direction should change now. And then if we just head all the way over to the left again, this should be the boat puzzle done dusted. Now this next part is actually, we've basically find out what happened now to the young child, but it's actually a really incredible visual of how it feels when you do eat something that is very poisonous. I mean, obviously, a lot of us are still alive, so we haven't had anything this poisonous, but it's a very, very detailed, vivid visual of what would actually happen if you ate something that would poison you straight away. To interact then with the little blue flame on the left, So now we have finally found out what happened to the family. It was poison. And of course, you probably know that if you were actually reading all of the dialogue. So go over to the left-hand side. There are 2 case files that we need to pull out. So you've got to read them both anyway. And nextly, Emperor, we're going to head back out to the right-hand side door, where we lie dormant. No, we actually don't. But we are going to go to the left, go through the next door, and now interact with the telephone. Alright, once we regain control, just over to the right by the TV is the next item. It's some tape. A roll of tape, which will fix almost anything. Except your broken hopes and dreams. Sad. Over to the right, you can find an iron, where we're going to press the A button there to lift up some fingerprints. See, it's all easy stuff, man. Just get some tape. You're all good. So go over to the right. We are going to go through to the door. I'm going to do the same again. So it's right into the next door. And we're going to go into the first door. We have to go into both of them anyway, but we'll go through to the first door first of all. Yes, it's this one. Press the A button, dog. All right, there we go. And if we go to the right-hand side of the bed, we're going to find a clock. And you can tell it's the correct one because there was a red magnifying glass over it. So that'll be the next fingerprint. And then the next fingerprint, if we go out of this room and then head to the right into the next room. There it is. We just look for the red magnifying glass, which should be over on the left-hand side, just next to the desk on the camera. And there we go. 3 fingerprints done and dusted. Actually, it begs the question of how crappy were the police in the original investigation where they didn't even find these fingerprints. God damn, man. It's obvious what you have to do, unless this was set in like the 1950s or something. But anyway, so first of all, we're going to interact with fingerprint 1. So choose fingerprint 1, top option. And nextly, make sure to choose fingerprint 3. So you think we're going to go through all the dialogue? We're not. We're going to choose fingerprint 3, so it'll be the bottom option this time. it was actually at this point where I realised pressing the right bumper once goes through the dialogue even quicker. So, yeah. Right, so once the dialogue has ceased to finish, we're going to head out to the right-hand side. Unless it does it automatically. No, it doesn't. There we go. So now we'll head out to the right-hand side door. Now we know exactly what happened. We just got a few more things to do as we head through to the middle. A few more things to do before we get the guy, finish the game, everybody happy. So we head to slightly to the left where we interact with the wall. I'm going to have a little conversation. And then we're going to go into the door on our dead immediate left. And then we're going to interact with the phone again. So once this bit of conversation is done and dusted with the guy on the phone, again, that's why you're not seeing it as prevalent now, because I realised pressing the right bumper goes even quicker. So again, another very easy puzzle. All you got to do, you just interact with. So you basically play as one of these little candles on the flowers. You've just got to put it in each red dot. Very, very easy again. And again, once the conversation is done, simply go to the rope, press the A button to climb up it. Again, I don't know why people who get into these situations don't just climb up a rope. It's simple. Okay, I think this is the basically last big puzzle that we've got to do now in the game. It's going to get very dialogue-y heavy again. But basically, we just need to put the ribs together. Again, very, very easy. So when the first dialogue option comes up here, we're going to make sure to choose the middle option, which is the ribs. And for the next and final dialogue option, we're going to choose the bottom option, I can communicate with the dead. And this is the actual end of the game then, guys and gals. This is actually it. So you should have all achievements apart from one now. But what you need to do, remember, so if you, again, make sure to make a manual save just in case here. But what you have to do now is just sit through the credits. Don't touch anything. You have to listen to the song that plays through the entire credits. So once you've done that, you will get your full 1000 out of 1000. So there we go then, guys and gals. I'm going to leave it right here. Obviously, I've edited the credits down some. That's all you got to do. So again, just make sure that you play through the tiny little epilogue here. And then with the credits, do not touch it. Let the credits play fully through. And that is job done. So there we go. So now you should get the achievement. So thank you, guys and gals. I shall see you in the next Game Pass game. Big love.